Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 31st, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Tuesday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics. We're going to be well as they get closer towards the Lesser Antilles. We got a little system here trying to flare up as well, like trying to develop as well. Also, we'll invest. As you can see, here is Puerto Rico. Here is the Dominican Republic. Here's Haiti. Here's that system down in these. This here has a 70% chance of development. Okay. Into Central America. Then it starts to make that turn to the northeast. Some of the computer model takes it right here and then turns it, heads back across Cuba and then out to sea. Some even takes it maybe into the Gulf of Mexico. So that's something we're going to have to keep a close eye on and see. It could move across Florida. Could this system become a hurricane? There is a possibility it could become a hurricane here. As you can see here, the current position of the storm keeps it to the west. See, most of the models turns it to the northeast. Just like I was talking about, some takes it, like I said, that'll move it into central Yucatan Peninsula. It could move out over here. So it will make that turn to the northeast, but where and when, that's where we just gonna have to wait and see how this thing plays out. Alright, let's move on to the intensity guidance of this system. As you can see here, it has about 25 knot winds equal to 30 miles per hour. It goes all the way up into a tropical storm. This do look like it will become tropical storm vent. Some of the models takes up into 1, 2, and even 3, almost a 4. But like I say, this could be our next hurricane of the season, developing here in the Caribbean Sea. So we'll have to continue to monitor this, and if it do, the name will be Vince. I thought Vince was going to be the other day, but this in here looking more and more likely it will become Vince. Oh, topical update. Let's move on to the watches warning advisory map. Alright, you can see here's those free watches extending from up here near New York City all the way through New York State, up all the way through areas of Pennsylvania, back down into the Carolinas, Georgia, and all the way down into areas of Alabama. We have a lake wind advisory down here in South Carolina, same down here around Lake Moultrie, South Carolina as well. Special weather statements for Panhandle, Florida, Georgia. South Carolina has some too for fire. Relative humidity value will be low. I do not know. I don't think they will issue a red flag warning, but they probably will continue to special weather statements for a Wednesday as that cold front moves through and expect a lot of gusty winds as well. We have red flag warnings also in effect for southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, and southern Louisiana. Also, we have one freeze watch in effect here for one county there in western Texas. We have a large real estate area freeze warning extended from central Texas all the way through northern Louisiana. All the way far north is Alabama, also into Georgia, South Carolina, all the way into Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee as well, and Arkansas. All these blue areas here, light blue areas here, will be turning purple. They will become a freeze warning. Probably later tonight, maybe issued a freeze warning in effect, or early tomorrow morning. This area in blue will be in the purple as well, so there will be a lot of freeze warnings extending from Texas all the way up into the northeastern United States. Alright, we have some wind advisories, special weather statements up here in portions of Illinois and also Iowa. Also special weather statements up here from Wisconsin. Also some winter weather advisories there as well. Dense fog advisory for portions of Montana and Idaho. Hydro issues over portions of Washington and Oregon State. Wind advisory, red flag warning for Southern California. The Hawaiian Chain Islands still got those areas of coastal flood statements along the entire Chain Island. Special weather statement for much of Alaska around the coastal area. Still got those coastal gale small craft advisories, and also that freeze and spray warning in effect to the north. Alright, we're going to do something a little different here today. We're going to show you the national temperatures across the board. In today's video, we're going to be showing that. We're going to let this thing load up here a little bit, and then we're going to take a look at the temperatures across. These are the high temperatures. This is for today, and then we're going to step forward. As you can see here, we got 20s, 30s, 40s up here in the upper Midwest. Same down here toward the central portion of the country, all the way into the northeastern U.S. Also, we got 50s, 60s down from portion of the northeast down to the Carolinas. The only warm spot I see right now in the upper 70s to the mid to upper 80s is down in southeast Georgia, down into the Florida Keys. Elsewhere, we've got some 60s along the Gulf Coast states as well, and also some warmer temperatures over here in the Pacific Southwest, over here around Arizona and Southern California. A little bit of 60s also over here in Oregon State as well. Alright, this is your temperature for your Wednesday. We're going to move forward to your Wednesday forecast. Alright, the temperatures cool down across much of the nation. The only warm spot I see is pretty much down here in Florida. Y'all even in the 60s. Central and southern Florida will be in the mid to low 80s, maybe mid 80s around Miami. Also, we got the mid 80s over here in portion of Arizona, back in the portion of California. We got some 60s popping up, 50s and 60s across excuse me, from up here near Washington, D.C. to the Carolinas. Look at there, only a 54-degree high temperature in Columbia, South Carolina tomorrow. That's going to be pretty chilly, with temperatures also expected to be cool into the 60s in the middle portion of the country. There's those 30s and 40s extending across the north, extending all the way down in the portion of Mississippi, Alabama, Mississippi. Also even got 40s extending into western North Carolina, all the way into the northeast United States up toward Maine for your Wednesday. All right, let's move on to your Thursday forecast. As you can see, we got a little bit of rebound in temperature. We get the upper 50s to low 60s for a portion of the Pacific Northwest. Also in the 60s and 70s for the southwestern United States. Also 50s and 60s for the middle portion of the country. Even Texas starting to warm up a little bit. You guys are going to be back around the mid to upper 60s, around 70 degrees. Also, pretty much the Carolinas will be warming up to around 60 degrees as well. Still in the 50s. And then got the 30s and 40s up in the northeast. Still got those low in the northern portion of the United States. This is for your Thursday. We continue to go into your Friday forecast. As you can see, the 30s and 40s start to retreat. A lot of the warmth becomes pretty zonal across much of the United States. We got 50s portion of Washington State, back into the 80s down here in southwestern areas of California, and also southeastern California, southwestern Arizona, southern portion of Texas. There come the 80s again back into Florida as well, back into the mid to upper 60s across the Carolinas, back into the central portion of the country. The 20s and 30s remain well to the north, up in the northern portion of the country, and also back into the 40s and 50s over the northeastern United States. All right, high temperatures. There we go to warm Montana, North Dakota, through Minnesota as well. Northeast even warming up back in the mid to upper 40s. Then we got the 50s and then the 60s. Here comes that 80-degree temp starting to slowly work back to the north again. Also back in South Texas, getting back into the 80s. Also back in Arizona and also California, back into the 80s. Back in the 72-degree range here in South Carolina for your Saturday. So we're starting to finally warmer. Just a brief cool spell, and then eventually the warmth will take over. All right, here's your Sunday forecast. As you can see here, we got plenty of 80s across the board. Standing from down here from Florida, back all the way back through portion of Louisiana, back into Texas, back to Arizona, California. Shoot, even the northeast still in the upper mid to upper 40s. Also, there comes that 30 still remaining to the north, but pretty zonal, comfortable temperatures if you're standing from near Oregon all the way over to portion of New York State, south. New temperatures are pretty well comfortable in this range. All right, let's go back real quick here. Let's show the the low temperatures. See if I can do that real quick. Let's take a look at these for a couple nights, and then we'll look at the weather radar. All right, you can see here we got teens and 20s pretty much tonight across much of the United States. We even got the upper 30s here in the Carolina, 39 for Columbia, South Carolina. We got the 50s and 60s and 70s for Florida. But pretty much most of the United States are in the 20s. Even got teens in the Maine region, teens in the upper Midwest. So it's going to be pretty chilly there, folks. All right, let's move on to Thursday night, Thursday morning lows. As you can see here, here's the Thursday morning lows. Pretty much in the teens and 20s over much of the United States. Look at there, even down in the low 30s, even some 20s here. 32 degrees, we're calling for Columbia, South Carolina. All the way down into portions of the Gulf Coast states. Even got some 30s there as well. Got 40s and 50s. Then across much of Florida. Also 40s and 50s over here in California as well. All right, let's continue into Friday morning. As you can see, we got 20s and 30s stretching all the way from Maine down into the Gulf Coast states. Even some 40s along the coastal area. Teens still in the upper Midwest, 20s and 30s. but the temperatures are beginning to moderate a little bit. Alright, you can see here most of the cold air retreats back to the northwest, over the northern central plains of the United States, and then back into the 30s and 40s across much of the east coast as well. Let's take a look at Sunday morning forecast. Should be a lot more, should be warming up a little bit more. As you can see, there goes the cold air, still 20s and 30s over the north, even portion of the from up here near Chicago back to near New Mexico area to the south and east. You're back in the 40s and 50s, and so the temperatures will moderate some before our next cold blast comes in sometime around I figured sometime around mid-November we'll have another little cold blast coming in as well. Alright, now finally we're going to wrap it up with the weather radar, and then we're going to end this video. Let my map load up here real quick, and then we're going to take a tour across the nation with this, and then we're going to end the video. Alright, as you can see, we got a little upper level spin up here over Madison. Surprised to see some mixed precipitation, maybe some snow falling in that region, also toward the portion of Lake Huron, also into Michigan, also up in the portion of Lake Superior as well, getting some shower activity, maybe a little mixed precipitation. As we continue to move eastbound, you can see a little bit of activity up here around Kingston area of Canada, back toward east of Toronto, down toward Buffalo, New York. Also, as we head southbound here, and we got a little bit just east of Dover, up here in the south of New Jersey. Got some shower activity through just north of Columbia, South Carolina, then extending towards Charlotte, all the way back down toward Montgomery, Alabama. Also, we got some more shower activity down just west of Baton Rouge, also back into South Texas. Also, we continue to go a little further to the south. We got more activity in the eastern Atlantic, just near the Bahamas, off the Atlantic coast, and also some down here in the northwestern portion of Cuba, just northwest of Havana. Got a few showers and storms there. And let's take a look down in the Gulf, in the Caribbean Sea. There's that system developing down there. You can see a few little radar glimpses, some shower activity down just south of Puerto Rico as well, as that system continues to develop. All righty, well, that's it. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. So enjoy the weather, because the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday afternoon, folks, and happy Halloween.